Right, guys, so I just thought I'd have a quick chat about the possibilities of this British Super League that's being talked about, what it might mean for the Football League, what it might mean for the Scottish Football League, and what it might just in general means for football across Britain as it is. So let's roll on into it. So, if you haven't heard already, there's been rumours now started after the end of the European Super League that there might be a British Super League that might be founded. When they say British Super League, by all accounts, it just means both Rangers and Celtic joining the English football pyramid rather than like a best of each country coming together. I think nobody's mentioned any Irish teams or any more Welsh teams joining the league. Obviously, we've already got the likes of Cardiff, Swansea, even Newport down in League Two. They're all very much in already, so I don't think there'll be any more Welsh ones joining. The likes of Cardiff Met and TNS, I doubt they'll come in themselves. So it's mainly just by the sounds of it, the Scottish teams that are looking to come over. And although they've calling it the Super League, by all accounts, it sounds like the idea is that they would just, both Celtic and Rangers would just come and join the English football pyramid. Now, obviously, the first major point about this is how would it happen? I think you'd have to be looking at like Celtic or Rangers probably joining in at like the League Two, maybe Conference. I suspect the EFL would be quite happy to have them at League Two. It's certainly EFL as a company. Whether the rest of the teams would, I don't know. This is one of the things I'll chat about. But obviously, you've got to think about what will happen adding two more teams to the pyramid, so to the 92. Will it become 94, or will they look to relegate an extra two teams one season to help make the space? I think if they look at relegating extra teams, I don't think the EFL would look to vote it in, or certainly not the clubs, and I don't think you can add these two teams without having the clubs vote to whether they'd be happy to. So yeah, I don't think we'd be having an extra relegation. So I do think it'd be an extra couple of spots, whether that be one in League Two, one in League One, an extra team get promoted from League Two one season, but and ultimately it could result in more games this season, which I don't think fans or clubs really want as it is at this moment in time. But I don't think that's a bad issue. And now, obviously, the important thing is what would actually happen if they were put in at League Two. So, obviously, Rangers and Celtics, probably their squads as they are right now would quite easily get through League Two, League One probably as well. Championship wise, they'd probably start getting a tougher. They may struggle to get out. I think they'd be mid to top table, top half of the Championship. But obviously, with the Championship being as it is at the moment, with some great clubs in there, I think they might actually struggle to like jump straight through the leagues. And obviously, the key thing is obviously if they were to go into League One and Two, would they be able to retain the players that they've got at the moment? Well, they may be able to keep them on the contracts, but then if they go into these leagues, the level of fair play is much different to the Scottish Premier League and obviously even the Premier League in our country. And so they may not be able to realise they may not be able to spend money to replace these players if they do lose them. So it'd be very tricky if they say stalled in one of the League One or Two, then these people in their clubs at the moment who are already a year into their contract, would they be able to keep them for that 3-4 years, or would they look, right, I want to go and play maybe a Premier League club, go sniffing? Would they want to jump up? Because I don't think they'd be physically able to afford the wages as it stands in League One or Two, because it'd be a lot of output with not much input in terms of prize money coming in compared to what they get in the Scottish Premier League. And I think obviously the big thing with that as well is obviously if they come into League One or Two, they're not going to have almost guaranteed European football every season, whether that be obviously through the qualifiers, getting to the group stages. League Two, none of that, so they'd either have to hope to win a trophy very soon to automatically qualify or get up very quickly. Now, I think in terms of for Celtic Rangers, if they do manage to get into that championship, high end championship, looking to get into the Prem, and if they get into the Prem, I think they could then look at growing, and these could then become giants of the game in this country as well, because they've obviously got the infrastructure there, and they would be a massive opportunity for somebody to come in and look in to buy, rather than maybe another English team. You'd go, oh well, go and look at Rangers or Celtic, buy one of them out for about the same money, but you've got a much wider fan base that you can pull to, rather than you could in this country with the fans of this country. So if they get to that stage and get to the Prem, then mm, they could be in for a lot of money, and then they could be pushing for the top half of the league. But it's, will they get there? How do they get there? I think it could be even if they join 5, 6 years before they even actually make it to the Prem, just due to the player turnaround they'll have to go through, and with the dealing with the new financial fair plays in this country. I think it'd be much different to what they've realised, and they wouldn't be able to spend anywhere near as much as they would want to, and they may struggle. But it would be interesting to see. Ultimately, as a fan of football and as a fan of the team, I think this would be a great thing for football in this country, having these two great clubs come over, join our league, but also kind of put to bed that they're not these great teams because they're playing in the Scottish League. I do think these two teams would rival at the moment probably most Premier League clubs lower end. So sort of your West Brom, Sheffield, they give them a good run, and then certainly top end Championship squads, and most of the Championship these teams would both Rangers and Celtic at the moment would probably give them a good run for their money. So it'd be interesting, really interesting. I would really like to see actually how they would do in these sort of competitions. Obviously, you got players like for Oxford United, we brought in Brandon Barker in the summer, not in the summer, in January, on loan from Rangers because they brought somebody in, so didn't think he'd get enough game time. He's coming to League One, and you can tell he's probably too good for League One at this moment in time already. Obviously, he's got an injury at the moment, and he hasn't been sent alight, but you can certainly tell he's got the ability to, if he gets goals and gets assists and gets the results that the way he's been playing deserves, then he would be snapped up by any Championship squad, I would think. So it's quite clearly that the reserves are least league, high end League One, lower end Championship level, that you would probably think their best players are probably going to be looking at a mid to top table, mid to low Premier League squad. And I think it'd be interesting to see. Now, on the other hand, you obviously have to think, what would it do for the Scottish Football League with these two giants of the game? The amount of money they pull in for that league alone must be massive. It may struggle, it may kill off the league. Obviously, you'd have to look at, obviously, they'd retain those European spots, but after a number of years, if they keep getting the teams that replace them, like your Aberdeens and your Motherwells, if they only manage to lose in the first round, so you might see that the UEFA look to reduce the amount of interest and the amount of number of positions they get in the league. So it'll be interesting to see what would happen there. I don't think the Scottish FA would be too happy with it, or even the Scottish government. I think they try and do something to stop it. But in terms of football for this country, I can only see it being a good thing. And plus, I'd love to go and have the opportunity to see my squad go and play a Rangers or a Celtic, when they're working their way up through the leagues. And hopefully that would be a great thing to see. Right, guys, so there are my thoughts on this possible new British Super League. So let me know, what do you think it could be? What do you think it would mean for the football in both the UK, in terms of England and in Scotland? Let me know in the comments, what do you think about it? Would you think it'd be a good idea? Or do you not like the idea and should go away and die like the European Super League should? So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. And obviously, if you like the video, do leave it a like. And if you want to see more of these, do subscribe as well, and I'll hopefully put up some more videos like these in the future. Cheers.